It's every day, bro. I pray my cryptos grow. Pray to the crypto gods just so I can get more cryptos. Hey, it's been a minute. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Sully 3V. You know the channel I'm on. And we got a special guest, one of my favorite guys, man. Player, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
So this is DarkmanX, aka Maurice Condafabric.
Maurice. Hey, it's good to have you on, Maurice. Hey, man, Maurice been telling me some crazy stories, man. He partying with model chicks, you know what I'm saying? Popping bottles. Maurice, man, how's your night going tonight? Or how was it earlier, man? Tell the people what you was up to.
Man. I started off with an audition for a fashion show in June. So, and that was right in the morning. So 9 o'clock I was up. I didn't even go to the gym. And then it went from that. I came back, and then I went to another fashion show for Orlando Fashion Week. So all the big money players was out. Huge fashion show. So there was a designer who specializes particularly in male clothes, but he does like a lot of female pieces because he has a daughter and such. So I was on doing the runway thing out with them, and then we had VIP in the club next door, so I had to go next door. I shot next door for a while. Of course, you know, it was myself and about 11 other models. Actually had a couple more guys this time, I think. Let me see. 3 other guys. And it was a good time. I actually I stayed out for a little bit and kind of, you know, did the social thing. And then I kind of bounced because to me, I wasn't actually dressed for the occasion.
Right.
I was rocking a couple of his pieces, the bomber jackets that he designed, which got over really great with the crowd or whatnot. You know, I'm doing my thing. If I get the video, I'll be sure to like post that up. I post a little bit on the Snapchat, so you can also follow me on Snapchat under Black Kryptonian. You'll see me out there at the club surrounded by beautiful women, dancing it up. But it was definitely good times this weekend. Last night / yesterday evening, I was back on the movie set again with Jasino Productions for a movie called MMA Never Surrender. So if you check that out, they have a trailer on Vimeo. You'll probably see yours truly in that trailer. I got a couple of different parts in that movie. They called me back out. Like I look a little bit different than last time.
Hold up, Maurice. Hold up. I'm glad you brought that up. Tell the people, what is it that you do? Because I got a lot of new subscribers, so they may not be familiar with you.
I do a lot of things. So right now, again, I'm focusing more on my acting. So I am an actor.
You're an actor?
Yes, sir. I do stunts. If you're wondering what kind of actor, action star. So I do a lot of martial arts. I do tumbling, fight choreography, grappling, and just overall stunts. So if you think like Jason Statham, that's pretty much me. I also do modeling, and that's actually what got me into the acting. So I do a lot of runway. I've been published. Matter of fact, I just got a magazine. I'm waiting for it to show up any day now. I posted up a couple of things on my IG and my Facebook. You can also follow me on the IG at DarkmanX_129. And then
hold on.
You'll see the tag on the Facebook.
Let me pull up the IG for the people, man, because the IG go crazy. Yo, your IG is one of my favorites, man. Okay, so
thanks, man. I'm actually posting something up right now from behind the scenes on the movie shoot. We was on the we had an octagon and everything, man. It was a good times.
Okay, so DarkmanX, you do a little bit of everything. You do acting, modeling.
Yep, game design. So I was doing that when I was in Cali. I am a game designer, 2D and 3D art. I do like nerd stuff.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, DarkmanX, let's keep it moving here. Boom, that's the IG for y'all. I'm gonna go through the pictures in a second because this brother.
Not to cut you off, Solo, but yeah, that comment that you wrote on that one picture made me chuckle.
Oh, this picture. Yeah,
yes,
this
sir.
picture, right, man. Disney meets Wakanda, man. God damn, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. The outright might not like this video. So Maurice, let's go into the main topic here. How did you get involved with cryptocurrencies? How did you hear about it? How did you start? If you don't mind going through your history.
Oh no, for sure. So I actually didn't start with cryptocurrency. I actually started with stocks. Again, just working this 9 to 5, you know, I was just thinking logically. I was like, man, this ain't really sustaining me. And I have major monies come in. I have other sources outside of 9 to 5 as well. And, you know, I have all this money coming in and, you know, I have nice stuff, but I'm kind of like, yo, I should be kind of mad. Like, what is going on? I'm good with money. I don't have like a lot of debts. I don't do credit cards. I'm like, what is going on? So, you know, it's kind of content that I've kind of heard through various places, through YouTube, about getting into the stock market. And I started studying, especially I was married before and then divorced. So, you know, that takes a financial hit on like, you know, your portfolio. So, you know, I wanted to research, I wanted to learn more. You know, I got the whole Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. I started reading all the like financial books. I started playing the little games online like Cash Flow, and just trying to increase my financial literacy and you know, basically double down on my cash. And
okay,
so stocks.
Not that you start investing in stocks in general, like, you know what I mean? I hear a little echo.
Yeah, I heard a little echo too. Hey, run that by me again.
I said, when did you start investing in cryptos?
Oh, so yeah. So I'm getting to that. So, man, it's probably been, seems like so long ago. Maybe a year ago. Maybe a year and a half ago now. Stocks can be a little overwhelming. Plus, you have to put a little bit of income in, which I didn't want to. I wasn't comfortable at the time putting in that amount for like just jumping in. I heard about cryptocurrency, you know, like everybody back in the day, back in 2009. I didn't pay no attention to it. I kind of revisited it and I looked at it from a technological standpoint. And me, since I'm a tech guy, I'm a hardware and software guy, I was kind of like, yo, this is kind of my generation's like stocks. I need to kind of, and after I did a little bit of research on how to set up accounts and stuff, it didn't take a lot of money to jump in. I was like, hey, this is something I can jump in. And if I get a handle on it, then maybe I can return back to stocks.
Okay, certainly. So, what year, you know, would you say you got into cryptos? Was it 2017, 2016?
Let me see. It's 20. Yeah, probably about let me think. Yeah, probably about the beginning slash, or actually about the beginning of 2017.
Okay. And if you don't mind sharing, do you remember your first initial investment?
Probably was Litecoin at the time, because Litecoin was only $25 when I got in.
Okay. Well, I remember Litecoin was mine too. My first investment was like $100, but that was like $33.
Oh, my first investment was the 25 I put into Litecoin. That's my very first investment, and my whole logic was if I make $1 more, I'll stick with it.
Oh, so you only put 25 in?
Yep.
You're like, F this, I ain't losing no bread.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was. Like when I remember Ethereum was 80, I was bitching. I was like, this shit's $80, blah, 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 blah.
Now if Ethereum is 80, you would jump on it, bro. You wouldn't even hesitate, would you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like now that I look back, I'm like, God dang, I should have doubled down on that, you know? Like I'm bitching about 80 damn dollars. Like, man, if I would have went ahead and like just put that money on there. But you know how it is, man. And when you're learning, it's kind of like I said, it didn't really take long to get, the main coins in regards to like Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. But once I had that down, then I started messing more with the alts. And there's so many alts now. That's like a
Hold
rabbit
on.
hole you can go down and just
Right. But before you get into that, Maurice, let's get into it. For when you meet, because I meet a lot of people. I've argued with financial advisors to college students. When you talk about Bitcoin, when somebody says, well, what is it, or what is cryptocurrencies? How do you explain that to a complete stranger who the only thing that they know about cryptos is what they saw on the news?
Well, are you talking about a regular person, or are you talking about a financial advisor?
No, I'm talking about like a regular person, like somebody who just seen a couple hit pieces or a couple of showcast pieces on like the news. Like they're like, yeah, Bitcoin, but what is it for?
Well, the first thing I would just, like I said, without going like so technical into it, but first thing is it's a digital currency, right? So it's meant to operate without regulation, as far and work independently from like a central bank. That's right off the bat. So little things kind of like when it comes to fees versus like or exchange of money or a credit card or wire transfers, you don't have to kind of worry about that, because all that's, like I said again, it's like peer to peer. It's operating independently. Then it's kind of like people are going to ask, well, okay, we get that, but then like, why is it worth something? You know what I mean? And it's worth something because people give it worth. If there's demand, there's actually, and people have done like they've actually done studies on this, that there's certain factors when it comes to material possessions, if that material possession makes it actually have worth and have value.
Okay. So, but somebody would say, well, how does it get value? Because it sounds like a Ponzi scheme. What gives cryptocurrency value? How do you explain that to them?
Well, it has value because there's a demand. And it's not just the currency. It's actually technology as well. So depending on what it is, I might explain it kind of like certain coins, because you have to remember it's code. It's like 0 and 1, right? It's tech. So certain coins might have
Maurice,
other operations.
I'm gonna ask you like I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but when you say zeros and ones, what does that mean to a complete
like binary code, like computer code, like computer code? Yes.
And there's a name for that code. You get into something that I'm pointing at, but okay, keep going.
So
blockchain.
We get it there. See, I haven't even brought up the blockchain because most people like the blockchain. It can get a little confusing.
Okay.
So most people wouldn't even know to ask that. You know what I mean? First, they might kind of like inquire, like, oh, I heard this. Like, what is this or whatever? But basically, the blockchain is like it's like the digital ledger that keeps track of all the transactions made in any kind of cryptocurrency. So, and it's public. So the reason they call it the blockchain is because, again, if you go back to that code, when those transactions take place, they're recorded in blocks. Make sense?
Okay.
And again, because there's no government authority over this, you have a bit of anonymity, and because it's peer to peer.
Now, Maurice, you totally lost me. So what's the point? I mean, why would I need Bitcoin when I can just do this with my PayPal? It sounds like another form of PayPal.
So again, because blockchain is public and to record it, you can see where your money is at
Hold
all
up. Why would I want that public? Why would I want me buying xvideos.com public?
But it's not going to show you buying xvideos.com.
Okay.
Right? It's just going to show that there was a transaction for xvideo.com. And the reason is because sometimes, and it's not just making purchases. Again, this is peer-to-peer, right? Sometimes you don't know where your money's at. Like, have you ever done like a wire transfer and it's kind of like let's say even like a Western Union, let's just say you want to send money to somebody in another state, right? First of all, because you're usually going to go through a bank, there's going to be some extra fees involved, right? Outside of the money that you're sending, right? With crypto, you don't. I mean, you can argue that if you go through an exchange, but let's just say if we're going from one wallet to somebody else's wallet, no.
Okay.
You can send it directly to an address, nothing. Then it's kind of like once you send that money, there's a waiting period, right?
Right.
Sometimes it can be 1 business day, sometimes it can be like, 3 to 5 business days, right? Depending on like what you're using and just whatever. There's a lot of variables if it's a holiday, again, because this is digital tech and there's a blockchain and this is peer-to-peer, instead of waiting, the other person gets that money instantaneous, right?
Okay.
You would have to wait somewhere. And then, like, again, doing it the traditional way is kind of like, let's just say you send this money. Well, everybody knows whenever you, let's say, like I say, if you use Western Union or you use something else, there's a period where you don't know where your money's at. So it's kind of like you sent it, you're like hoping it gets to to the person, right? Like sometimes you have to give them an access code and then they're able to get it, right? A lot of people don't really think about that, but there's like if you kind of break it down, it's like, okay, well, I paid for this. I got this information, I gave it to this person. Most people end up having to call up, hey, did you get what I sent you?
Right.
And in that little window, they don't know where their money is at. It's just there. They're just literally on faith me and like, okay, I paid for this and I got this paper receipt, but let me just call this person, make sure he got it. Good. That doesn't really give me a warm fuzzy. Like I like to kind of know where things are at.
Okay. And so that's a good explanation, Maurice. And it still may go over people's heads, but people are wondering, how come it goes up and down so much? I'm pretty sure you've heard that question before, haven't you? How do you explain that to somebody who's completely oblivious or who's a noob? Is it a Ponzi scheme? Have you heard that question before? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, Ponzi scheme. I heard it's a tulip scheme. Like you hear that a lot from old money investors, especially you hear that a lot from the bankers, of course. I mean, there's always risk. I mean, there's risk in everything. I mean, it's funny they say that, but you can say the same thing about traditional stocks. I just know that I haven't experienced anything like that. Like, there is a lot of like negative press when it comes to cryptocurrency in general. But if you look at the sources where it's coming from, it's all the sources that are like basically charging us these like exorbitant high fees for no reason at all.
Right. You mean banks and other?
Yeah, right. Exactly. As far as the way the fluctuation, well, you got to remember it's not just you. There is like depending on the cryptocurrency. But let's just talk about Bitcoin. There is a certain supply, and that's it. Right? This isn't like paper fiat where it's like they just print more and keep printing until the money loses value and continues to lose value because you keep printing more money, which is called inflation.
Right.
And which, and if your money gets hyperinflated, right, then which we've seen in places like Venezuela, like then your money is not worth jack anymore. And then that's when the banks go on what they call extended vacation and nobody has access to their money. Then we on some Walking Dead type shit.
That's a good point. Now, Maurice, let's get back to your journey. So you started out with Litecoin, and then what happened? Did you wait a month? What happened after your first purchase?
Oh, well, once I saw because we're talking about the fluctuation in the market, once I started making gains, which was at the time my goal was just make $1 more, and it was well over $1. So I was like, oh, like that's how much my portfolio is worth, like okay, like then I went from there, I went to Ethereum. And then from the Ethereum, I think someone, if I remember correctly, I was mentioning this to someone at my job, and then they kind of overheard me talking, and they're like, "Oh, cryptocurrency? You're talking about cryptocurrency?" And turns out that those particular people had been investing for a lot longer than me, for years. So we kind of had that shared like bond that we all were. This was, you got to remember, this was before this became like mainstream. And I said 2017. It might even been about towards the end of 2016. Now I think about it, could have been even a little further back. But it wasn't mainstream, even though it was still kind of underground then. If you really think about it, when you think about all the, as they call them, Bitcoin million and billionaires now, that's like an underground thing at this point, right? Because people got onto that stuff like years ago. At the time, I kind of just stuck with Ethereum. I still was getting Litecoin, but they were pushing up the EC20. I think that's what it's called, with the source code for Ethereum. There's so much stuff you can do with it, which of course spawned off tons of altcoins and stuff. And then at the time, the guys that I was with, they were pushing that like, hey, Ethereum's going to eventually take the place of Bitcoin. So I really was concentrating on trying to get a good amount of Ethereum. Like, and I did all right. Like, I didn't get anything a crazy amount, but yeah, I got enough that I made some substantial gains for sure.
Now, some people on the chat, what is Ethereum? How's it
different
from Bitcoin? I mean, there's already Bitcoin. What's the point of Ethereum or any other coin?
What do you mean by what's the point?
Well, some people are saying you got Bitcoin, right? You talking about the transactions you were talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh, so you're talking about like the differences or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of that too has to do. There's certain things other than just the technology, but the way the blockchain, and this might get a little confusing, so I'm trying to like simplify this, but the way the blockchain kind of like, it's not, like I said, first of all, it's decentralized, right? So since it's decentralized, it's like everybody has access to it. Also, the transaction speed in certain technologies versus other technologies can be progressively better. So even though Bitcoin is kind of seen as like, I think of it as like, I think of it like Nike. Like, and I don't know, maybe somebody else has a better analogy, but I think of it like Nike. Like, like Nike isn't like the best shoes, but they're the ones that everybody kind of like knows, that they can charge exorbitant amounts, that everybody's like, hey, I'm gonna buy some new Nikes. And I think that Bitcoin is kind of like that. But there are other shoes like Reebok, right? Because you saw how Reebok came out now, that they're not Nikes, but they're just as good. And in some cases, it's like, hey, these are like way more comfortable and a cheaper price. That's kind of how it works with the main coins and altcoins. Without going in, and I might even have to look it up, but the way Ethereum kind of like works with the blockchain, so it's actually a little bit better than Bitcoin.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Hold up, I just pulled this from, and I'm echoing. Is it?
Here we go. Yep. Am I echoing? Because it doesn't
I
sound like
think
I'm echoing.
echoing.
I don't know. I don't hear anything.
Okay.
Hold on.
Is that
I'll turn my mic off and then turn it back on and see if I don't know. See
all
if
right?
there's a difference.
All right, cool, cool.
Hold on.
I don't think I'm echoing. Yeah, I don't hear
Can
it
you hear
now.
me?
Hello? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
can you
the
hear
echo
me?
is gone now. Okay.
Turn my mic on and off a couple times.
So I'm just gonna read this. This is from ianbellina.com. He's the hold on a second. He's a crypto millionaire. And he says, just like Bitcoin, Ethereum is an open source blockchain network. Although there are some differences between them, the most relevant distinction you must remember is they have different purposes. Bitcoin offers just a particular application of the blockchain technology and is designed as a peer-to-peer system that facilitates digital transaction. Ethereum, on the other hand, is a platform for running applications on a distributed network that allows smart contracts between individuals worldwide. In the Bitcoin blockchain, miners work for Bitcoin, while in the Ethereum one, miners receive Ether, a digital asset that fuels the network. So it kind of sounds like Ethereum does a little bit of different things when it talks about
Yep.
running applications and things like that.
And that was one thing, like, because he mentioned the smart contracts. I don't even know if like the average person really knows that term. Like, maybe we should like explain that a little bit. So, that's actually how do I put this? How do I simplify this? So that is a part of the code that kind of like there's a certain transaction that needs to be made in the code that can only take place in a relationship between exchange of two people or more. So say for instance, like you want to, let's just say you want to buy a house in Ethereum, right? And you're going to sell it to somebody else. Well, they can literally code in the like the software itself that like, hey, on this day, once I get X amount of money, this deed is going to be like digitally transferred over to this other person.
Okay.
And that would be like a smart contract. So it's not, it's not a paper agreement. This is something that's just like encoded in the actual technology itself, that once certain parameters are met, then it releases that back to the other person. Hopefully that makes a little bit better sense.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about this, because a lot of people, they hear the prices about Bitcoin and Ethereum, but besides the peer-to-peer, what are some of the benefits of cryptocurrencies in your opinion?
Well, like I said, being able to check your check your purchase or your transaction on the blockchain, and just having access to that, I think that's like very transparent on kind of like where your money is, what it's doing, what stage of the transaction is it at, and being able to see when it's finished and when in all in real time. That's something we don't have when you just make these transactions through the banks or Western Union. I mean, unless you're just making a transaction where it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to an ATM, I'm pulling out cash, it gives me that cash, or I'm going to Taylor, they give me that, but you don't really see what's going on behind the scenes. You don't really see, you just think that, okay, this ATM has X amount of dollars in it. I put my money in, I get my money or whatever. Like we don't see any of that stuff. So being able to just, like I said, like say for instance, if I'm transferring money from an exchange, right? And I'm transferring from one exchange to the different exchange, I can literally go into the blockchain and watch that transaction the entire time, from the moment I make the purchase, from the moment it goes through the confirmation checks, all the way until it gets to the source wherever I'm like purchasing. Um, I think that's awesome. I think another advantage is just like you said, the peer to peer being able to have uh, basically the currency instantaneously. No
Mm-hmm.
waiting, no extra fees, even though which they're actually going to try to circumvent later on this year. I mean, I know the exchanges are getting their cut, which has gotten kind of out of hand. But like I said, without getting too technical and what a lot of uh, altcoins are trying to do. They're trying to get rid of exchanges basically.
Okay.
It ain't gonna happen, but they got some good things on certain coins that like, hey, you can give us regular USD and get your coins without another middleman, I guess.
Now, CR Frank in the chat says, having the privacy of your own money, no third parties,
Yep.
i.e., Uncle Sam's watching my funds. What does he mean by that?
Well, and I mean this I mean it goes for everybody. I mean it's taxes, is the IRS. Like you said, is Uncle Sam. They always want their cut. Especially even the banks. And a lot of people don't get this because a lot of people are just consumers, but you'll see this a lot if you invest, not in just cryptocurrency or even real estate and such. Sometimes it makes the banks nervous if they don't know where a large amount of money just magically appeared in that account. Because again, you have this third party, which being the bank that you're dependent on to store this money at. So sometimes when it's like, oh, well, this account's been at like, let's say $20 for like the last 5 years. The next thing you know, there's a $200 or $200,000 transaction like in the account. They're gonna it's gonna raise a couple of like eyebrows, because the banks themselves don't want to make sure that they are participating in any money laundering, because then they will take a financial hit as well. Like they can get shut down, and the bank is getting their cut as long as Uncle Sam as well. So
Okay.
it's not necessarily that people are trying to be evasive, but it's not the fact that people don't want to be taxed. We just want to be taxed fairly. And then, we get
That's
into
what
the
you were talking
whole
about with the low transaction fees, right?
right,
Okay.
exactly. And a lot of times, and like I said, for various uh reasons, when you talked about the 1%, when you talk about middle class and talk about high class, there's fluctuating variables where, like I said, it seems like the people that are on the low end now, which is slash the low end, we're not getting kind of like the same treatment. We're getting kind of overcharged for no reason, while the people on top aren't really taking that type of hit.
Okay. Now let's go back to your journey, and I'm glad, brother. You are. I love. We talked on the phone the other night for 2.5 hours.
And it didn't even
And
seem like it, man. Time flew.
you know, let me ask you this. So you bought your first Litecoin, and now you're doing the research into cryptos deeper, right? Who were you watching, or what? How did you do your research to find out more about cryptocurrencies? What tools besides your coworker that you mentioned earlier were you using? Were you using other people? Were you reading books? Tell me more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the books I was reading was more about stocks, but you could use those same principles with crypto. A lot of stuff from Robert Kiyosaki, a lot of stuff from Damon Dash. There was a couple books that Ian Ball, he had like recommended. I haven't been through all his lists yet, but I remember I wrote them down. I still have it over here. And a lot of Reddit forums. Reddit, like, I actually never was really big into Reddit like that. Like, I always had people was reading, and I was like, why are they constantly in this? Who cares? You can ask about all this stuff. Now I see why everybody's into Reddit. YouTube videos, obviously, like, hey, what's up with this tech? Hey, how do you do this? Hey, and then the good thing is, usually if you have a question about anything in the days that we live in now, you're not the first person to ask that question. So when you like Google something now, or you put something in the YouTube search bar, 9 times out of 10, somebody's done already asked that question or a similar question. And you can kind of use that as a template to kind of like do a little bit of research.
So when you were doing your research, do you remember how you felt? Because I hear a lot of people are excited about this. Were you excited? Tell me how you felt and your thought process doing the research.
Actually, I made an analogy, and I might be dating myself on this, but do you remember Tamagotchi? The little toy that people bought back in the day. Like now they have like I think Pokemon and shit now, but like it was like the little toy where you could kind of like it had like a little
You had a
little
pet?
monster or whatever, and you could feed it
Yeah.
like hatched, and then like
Yeah.
you could trade them.
My sister had one of them.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
That's basically what cryptocurrency is. So like I was thinking like, man, I'm sitting here because doing my research, I found out about Blockfolio. Like I got this stuff all on my phone. Like I'm watching this stuff in real time. I'm getting new like altcoins. It's like I'm like, dude, this is
Okay.
like Tamagotchi. Like
Now, what is an altcoin?
an altcoin is just another type of cryptocurrency that's derived from the Ethereum network. I believe there's other networks too. I know, but I know that the majority of ones that I mess with are Ethereum based for the most part.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind sharing, can you name some of these altcoins that you got into initially?
Yeah, hold on. I'll look it up on my phone and tell you. Because there's some that I got into and invest, and then there's ones that I actually um somebody will mention, and I'll actually watch those coins as well. Because you have to remember to get those coins,
Mm-hmm.
you have to go to different exchanges, and
What
there's
the hell is an exchange? You never mentioned that.
well, you didn't ask.
Hey, well, I'm asking now. I have
Exchange
no
is
idea what you're talking about right now, man.
I know I got you, man. I got you. So an exchange is how do I put this? So it's not like a bank. So there are places on the net where people, right,
Mhm.
have access to a supply of different types of cryptocurrencies or whatever. And those are in one centralized like location. And
Okay.
you can go to that like location, um, and you can make transactions through that location. Similar to a bank, but again, this is decentralized, right? So it's not, even though it's not like you're going through a particular um, entity, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a transaction point.
Okay. Can you give me some? What are some big exchanges out there, or which one do you use?
So I started off with Coinbase because obviously that was the easiest one. I was able to just jump right in. I went from Coinbase to Bittrex.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for a while. I stayed on Bittrex until, once this became mainstream, then, Bittrex got kind of slow. They've gotten better now because obviously you got to remember in their infancy, there wasn't too many people that was really running these exchanges. You know what I mean? It'd be like a handful or a small team. So once everybody got into it, it was kind of like they had to staff more people for the
Mm-hmm.
demand. I went from from Bittrex to Binance. And then I went from Binance to KuCoin. I
Mm.
opened a Kraken account and I opened a GDAX account. I really don't fuck with them like that. GDAX I do because a lot of people don't know GDAX is actually owned by Coinbase, so you can actually do transactions through GDAX from Coinbase and kind of avoid those Coinbase fees. Usually I just bite the damn bullet, because I'm lazy. It just depends. And like I said, Ian, he was always preaching Kraken, but I don't know. I never could really get into like the interface. It really wasn't that user friendly for me. So I have it. I don't really do any transactions off it. Oh, and then also I opened a Gemini account as well. I go in there every now and then. Same thing. It's the same thing with Kraken. I don't really mess with them. I have them, you know, in case I need them for something. But
Right. Now, Maurice, my journey is obviously well documented. I mean, I kind of showed myself buying cryptos on video, if you remember last year, how excited I was. I felt like I had found the last treasure. What's the name of that treasure that Christopher Columbus was looking for? Forgot the name. But I forgot the name. Darn it. But I felt like I had found that treasure that everybody was looking for, and I wanted to share it with everybody. And people would be like, yeah, not interested. Now let me ask you this, Maurice. Were you the same way when you realized, holy crap, you stumbled onto something? Did you wanted to share it, or did you say, F that, I'm keeping it to myself? What was your mindset?
No, man, I didn't really share it outside of the circle, a few people that kind of was already doing it, because it's still like your money, you know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, like I said, I'm real private about my funds and kind of like, you know, what I do with my money, you know. It's kind of that same, you know, that saying, it's like you don't show people how you eat, you know what I mean? I just don't like people all up in my business when it comes to kind of stuff like that. But if it's like general questions and stuff, yeah, I'd be, you know, more than happy. Like, I mean, it's what I mention isn't nothing outside the realm that like, hey, you can't go and do your own research and like, you know, find the same information or even better information.
Now, one of the things that I did, and I'm not trying to take this left, but you know, I wanted to share this with everybody, you know, because I thought this was huge. And I started to look for content creators that you know were cool in the sense, because let's be honest, Maurice, a lot of these crypto guys, they will put you to sleep. You know what I mean? Let's keep it a buck. And so I started looking at guys, and I found some cool guys like Ian Bellina. He was very, very easy to follow, very knowledgeable. Brandon Kelly, he's another brother, you know, that was good. Just following a lot of people. And then I stumbled upon a goofy guy named Trevon James. We might talk about him later. But, you know, so I was just like trying to immerse myself in it. When, in your opinion, did you start to feel really comfortable with cryptocurrencies? Was it when you hit your first 1,000 or when you doubled your profit? When did you feel like, okay, I'm starting to know what I'm doing? Or do you, because I've been in it for a year, I still feel like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to be honest with you. I can barely read the charts. I'm not going to lie. And I tell people, oh, by the way, before we continue, this is not financial advice. We're not accountants. If you guys seek a financial guru advisor, this is simply two friends having a conversation and talking about their experiences and opinions. So tell me about that, Maurice. How for you in regards to that, going back to the question, do you feel, was there a point where it started to click for you, or are you not at that point yet, honestly speaking?
I think actually, like, it's not even really a monetary thing. I think actually when it started clicking for me was when I started doing the transactions from Coinbase to Bittrex, because that involves a little bit more than, you know, the top 3 currencies that are just on Coinbase, you know, especially going into alts. And there ain't no shame when you say about like, oh, you know, sometimes I don't feel like I know what the fuck I'm doing. I mean, I think everybody feels like that. I mean, I'm still nerve-wracked even making transactions. You know, all it takes is for like one digit to be off or a space, and that money's gone. It ain't coming back. You know? And so every time, man, I'm just like, I'm double, triple, I'm just staring at the screen before I hit the button. I'm like double checking it, you know, like, yeah, man. So as far as monetarily, I mean, like, Um, because I'm just trying to think of dates in my head. So I knew I was kind of good uh by the end of last year
Mm-hmm.
because everybody saw towards the end of the year how we just had a ridiculous bull run. And when I saw,
What's a bull run?
so that's just there was a certain amount of revenue that was pumped into the market that drive the market up, basically.
Okay.
Like not
And
just
what's the opposite of a bull run?
well, not a bear market. Well, I guess a bear market.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Uh-huh.
Yep.
What's a
Um,
bear market? Is that just when it goes down or what?
yeah, basically, it's like you said, it's just the opposite.
So is Bitcoin right now or cryptos at a bear market? Because I
But
heard
right now,
that it was at 20,000 in December, and now it's below 10,000. So that's not a bull run, is it?
we're in a crypto winter right now, is what we're at.
Sounds like
Oh, not
Minneapolis to me.
oh, and one thing, because I got my blockfolio. Just on a side note, Flex, uh, it's 6 cents again right now. So
Okay.
FYI, for anybody out there that's listening. But yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of factors. There's probably too many to go through this uh interview of why the market. And I mean, it's only
Okay.
speculative.
So let's keep it simple. In your opinion, is the crypto bear market, is it going to change at all this year? Is it going to go back up, or is this just,
Well,
you
this is
know, where it was not Bernie Madoff, but who's the other guy? Golly, I'm forgetting names today. The other big guy. Um,
which one?
he's another big guy. He's a billionaire. Currencies
You talking about
is
Elon Musk, are you?
huh?
You talking about Elon Musk, are you? Who you talking about?
Not Elon Musk. It's the other guy. He's a billionaire. He's an old guy. God,
All those guys.
can't remember his name.
Donald Trump.
No, not Trump. He's a billionaire. Everybody knows who he is.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah, Warren Buffett. Yes, or
There
is
you go.
Warren
I know
Buffett
that.
right that this is just a phase that'll end up worse than the dot-com bubble?
I mean, what does he care? He's wealthy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know,
Yeah, but
man.
that doesn't mean he doesn't want to be more wealthy. Obviously, he's in
True.
it to win it.
But if he knew this, if he's saying that, like I'm just thinking logically, right? If this is your opinions on this, then that would mean you're not invested in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you can have people that can like, give their opinions just based off of their experiences, but it's kind of like you're basing it's like I said, I started off in stocks, but now I kind of went from stocks to this. I wouldn't go back from just using crypto to the stock market and be like, well, I think the stock market's going to do this, this, and this based off of what I've been doing in crypto. It doesn't make any sense. So again, I mean, even with these charts, we don't know what the market is going to do. Like nobody can predict the market, right? We're more reactive. We try to be proactive by doing research. It's same with stocks. Like we know what stocks are doing well. We know, like prime example, Disney stock is doing fucking well right now because of Marvel. Marvel stock is doing damn well. Like we see
Wakanda forever.
right. See, there we go. We see every day while we're being entertained the things that we're interested in, the things that are like popping, the trends that are going on. And it's
Right.
kind of like you can find that exact same information just by, I mean, you're already on the internet looking at shit anyway, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna read about Arc Reddit. And I go in there and I look. And then like I just go on the forums and then
What the
just
hell is Ark? Is that like a boat?
what's what?
Is Ark like Noah's boat? Are you talking about the Bible Ark or what Ark?
Arc is another cryptocurrency which I actually I ended up selling because it wasn't really performing how I wanted it to perform, even though the tech is pretty solid. They really weren't advertising like, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to know what it is, or?
Yeah, why don't you tell me what it is?
Let me. How do I explain ARC in a simple way? Okay, ARC, the way that it uses, it basically wants to make like an ecosystem of like um certain parameters through transactions that make it more flexible and scalable and adaptable, basically. This is an easy way to put it.
Okay. And so you bought this ARC and it wasn't performing that well. Is that
I mean, it
because
was at first, but I held on for dear life, and I lost a lot of money from holding because sometimes when that bull run, you're thinking as just like an average guy, like, hey, this is doing what it's supposed to be doing. This is the whole reason why I'm holding on to this. This is gonna go to the moon. And it kind of went up into the atmosphere and then slowly started going back down.
okay? Now let's talk about the altcoins a bit because you said you got into that. And you were about to mention some of your altcoins right now. Can you give us, if you don't mind sharing, you don't have to, because we'll make these brothers donate, but if you don't mind sharing, what are your top 5 altcoins right now?
Ooh, top 5. That's man. I'm not even going so far, to be honest. Yeah, I told you what my plan was. But I can name a few. Ada.
Wait, and if you don't mind sharing, Ada, can you tell whatever you know about it and why?
Okay, because like some of these
Mhm.
some of these cryptos, like I said, they can get really confusing or whatever
Okay.
because there's just so many or whatever. Okay, let me tell about so Ada goes by Cardano. So if you heard Cardano,
And I'm pulling it up right now on the
okay, no, cool. Like I said, I'm just gonna do cliff notes just to keep it simple.
Cool.
Some people call it, and then
Okay, you cut out there for a second. You cut out there for a second. Can you repeat that?
no, some people call this the Ethereum.
Okay, you
Hello?
cut out again.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I mean YouTube trying to shut us down again.
Probably.
So I was saying that some people call it the Ethereum of Japan. That was
Ooh,
actually one of the reasons why I was told about it, because like I said, I was really bullish on Ethereum.
right.
And you look at this, and I was like, oh, but it's trying to take care of the issue of like scalability and storage and like basically bandwidth and transaction per second between like basically purchases in the blockchain. That's the simple way of doing it without going into sub networks and everything else or whatever. Just think, hey, it's trying to take care of the issues of like compressing the data into smaller chunks so you can have again faster transactions per second and more space in the blockchain. And you want me to just go down and list through the other ones?
Yeah. Go ahead, player.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Flix, which I told my boy Solo about, and this is for all the content creators. We all know what YouTube is doing as far as like hammering everybody's channel as far as what you can and can't say, pulling advertising. Their team actually wants to create a video sharing service similar to YouTube, but basically unregulated. And it's actually ran up. So if not that I'm pushing piracy or anything, but if you know about popcorn time and how that UI was set up, a lot of us have used that on the PCs, on your Xboxes, right? they're actually trying to set that up very similar. You also can obviously purchase content, right? Similar to kind of like how people are using Patreon now through Flix, right? Using, or Flixo, I should say, using the Flix currency. And, like I said, there's also similar to what they're doing with Steam. You can get Flix for watching videos. And then this is unregulated. So there's no regulated body. I don't really know how that's going to work because I mean, it's a decentralized blockchain, but I guess people are just going to be able to say whatever they want and it's just going to be floating out there on the net. So, I mean, I see big things coming from it. I think probably YouTube is one of the biggest, if not the biggest. I don't even see other people using other services like that. I know they have Vimeo and stuff, but I don't really see it like YouTube. I mean, they have Steam It. A lot of people still aren't really gravitating to Steam It like that. So I think in the future, like I said, this may be where everybody ends up being.
But Steam It, I mean, they have a website that's pretty popular in the crypto community, don't they?
Yes, this is true because get Steam, which is another cryptocurrency from there. But it's more, if you think about Steam, and I mean, yeah, you can share videos on there, but it's more like a blog. And
agreed.
I mean, Steam is cool. I do like it, but again, when you think about the usability, right, and the access to how YouTube is, how you can just jump in, upload videos, make like a video chain, basically have favorites and everything else. I mean, it's totally different than the way Steam is ran.
Okay.
Let me see. Another cryptocurrency that I have is hold on, I'll look on it. Yeah, Ziliquia, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
So
sounds like a stripper.
Now we didn't got that stripper coin yet.
You sure, Maurice? You stripped up earlier today instead of a fashion shoot, bro?
I see. I'm not gonna say that to that. That's a story later, right? But
that's a story off camera.
Yeah, that's an off camera story.
I got you.
So basically, that's another coin that wants to deal again with like the scalability of the blockchain, but they want to do it in a way that it makes basically smaller networks. So if you think of like, instead of having one big network, they actually want to do it through a process and called sharding, I believe it is, and it's going to make a bunch of splinter networks that basically increases basically the input throughout the blockchain. And the reason they want to do that is because then that can increase the number of transactions that can be processed at a given time. So if you think about the overall network that's decentralized or whatever, we have billions, probably billions of people that are using this network or whatever. So if they can do this in a way that you can have like multiple transaction speeds and you don't have to worry about like, just the influx of like data that's coming in that can actually, like I said, we've seen it through the exchanges, where exchanges get shut down temporarily because they have so many people trying to make transactions on there. And you're like, what the heck, this probably can solve that problem in the next couple of years. And the thing about this particular coin, this coin, apparently the technology has been in use for like the last 2 years. Several companies. So this isn't like something that somebody's pushing out and it's just experimental. Like this has already been tested, and I think that's one to look out for. Civic's more for trying to protect your identity. Yeah, you do have anonymity and whatnot, but it wants to put additional security measures within the technology that people can't have access to your personal data if you do choose that through a as we were talking about earlier, a smart contract. So if you want to put specific information like, hey, I need this, and this, Civic is going to be instrumental in trying to basically um, make sure your data is secure.
Okay.
And that's 4. Let me see. What would be my 5th?
What about Icon?
I got Icon on there, but that boat's kind of sailed for me. Like I said, I told you my battle plan. I mean, I would say Verge, to be honest.
Yeah, Verge.
Verge, you can still, you can still get in on Verge.
A couple months ago, it was pumping like crazy. And shout out to I Am Ball, man. He made some. He made some. I hope he cashed out on some of it.
Yeah, I mean, like I heard about Verge like when I first started. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I mean, like I said, I would still put it up there. I mean, like you said, it was pumping and it's kind of made it down, and now it's kind of stagnant, but it's not. I mean, people are still stealing Verge. You know, hackers are going in there and still like, stealing coins. So I mean, there's obviously got to be a demand for it. So I think that would be a 5. I mean, there's other coins in there I could list. District OX.
So how are hackers? So some people might say, how are hackers hacking this coin Verge?
But no, they're not hacking coin now. They're hacking the exchanges. That's a difference. Other place, you know what I mean, on the internet, I mean, it's vulnerable. So now we have security measures in place. We have two-step authentication now. I'm trying to think of the name. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. It was when the fork happened. Oh, what's it called? It was like the technology that was like this was going to make it harder, and then for some reason it didn't happen. It'll come to me when I'm thinking about it. But we have additional security measures now that we didn't have. I mean, it's still, it's the internet. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't keep my coins, or I shouldn't say I don't keep them, but I don't keep the bulk of my coins on the internet. I try to keep my stuff in cold storage, off the net, off my computer, in a controlled environment that I have access to.
Okay. All right. So, DarkmanX, you've given us a lot of information. And there's still some skeptics in the chat. There's a gentleman by the name of Phoenix. He says it's similar. What's your take on that sentiment?
Wait, run that by me again. You broke up. It's what?
He says it's similar to gambling.
It is similar to gambling. I actually agree with that because I mean, it's funny. Like I said, you can do research or whatever, but like I said, nobody can predict what the market is. And at this point, we've seen so much craziness go on. I told my boy it's like throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded at this point. So, I mean, there's other factors. I mean, even Ian Ball, he has his Excel spreadsheets that he makes that certain criteria cryptocurrencies have to hit before he says that, oh, this is going to be a good ICO to invest in. This coin's going to be good. I'm kind of the same way, but I look more, the coins that I'm really invested in now, if you notice, has to do a lot with the actual technology.
Your picture, I think a coin that would do really well is Snow Bunny coin.
You know what? There's certain coins that are trying to give everybody the ability to make their own coins, and I think there might be some actually doing it now. I don't know. I have to do a little bit more research on it, but I don't know, man. They had Dodge coin. I would buy some Snow Bunny coin. It might pop.
Yo, we might have to do it, man. It's just you might have to work on the white paper to make sure it's off the chain. You know what I'm saying?
What the lizard's gonna do when the Snow Bunny coin go out, though? That's the question. They can lose their damn mind.
All right. So please let it be known, because the brother do have, I appreciate him, and we won't have him for long. So if you have any questions for the brother, let it be.
Oh, like I
This is
pulled up the chat. Darkman Jeff actually mentioned Forex. Yes, so I'm actually planning to get on Forex now. Now actually because of crypto, because I was so I'm so confident from the stuff that I read from the stocks, and then now actually going through the crypto. Like, yeah, Forex is kind of my next venture. I know Boyce Watkins is always pushing.
Okay, can you
that's
tell
one
us
to go
what
to now? And, just trying to diversify my portfolio outside of just cryptocurrency.
Okay,
that's a lot of things that people mention too when they're just kind of like, oh, it's this, it's that. Well, don't put all your money in just one spot. You should be diversifying stuff.
And what is Forex for those who are not familiar?
Oh, the international exchange. A lot of people don't know that. It's the biggest exchange in the world, actually.
Bigger than the stock market?
Yes, by far. The foreign exchange. So, yeah, because again, our money, like, is nobody wants our money because it's losing value every day, while there's other currencies that are going up and fluctuating in value, such as the Japanese yen.
Okay.
So I mean, you can go on there, and then with Forex, it doesn't take much at all. You can go in there with just a couple $100. You just have to kind of get used to following the market. But I mean, it's definitely good stuff. Everything that I've been watching on, it's pretty simple to jump into. A lot simpler than I thought it was actually going to be. So, like I said, we'll probably have to post some videos up in a few months and see how that's going. But yeah, that's the next thing on my list. So definitely look that up outside of the cryptocurrency.
Okay, definitely. All right, hold up. Let's see if we got any more questions in the chat.
Oh yeah, I guess why you got my IG
plug. While I have you on, Maurice, let's get into some other tip. This might go left. Why do you think so many Black people, because we are Black, of course, and I'm not trying to make this a racial thing, but I have to ask, are so skeptical about this topic? I mean, I posted a video the other day. It barely cracked 300 views, but when I talk about a particular Black female YouTuber, it got 2,000 views the first day. Why are people, Black people particularly, in your opinion, so skeptical about this or dismissive?
I don't know if it's more skepticism than sometimes I think that there is a segment, a large segment, I should say, particularly since we're talking about like the Black community, they're just stuck on misery. Like, they don't want to hear when somebody actually has a solution that, like, hey, actually, you don't have to live like that. You can actually do this. They ain't trying to hear it because it's kind of like, and it could be anything, they might not have the knowledge, they might be lazy, they might be scared, they might be listening to other people or whatever. But when they see somebody else kind of like, hey, I found a solution, this is what the hell I'm going to do, that kind of forces them, and the other person might not even know, but that forces them to do a self-eval on themselves. And they're kind of like, hey, what the hell am I doing? I see this dude like doing all this stuff, and they be basically low-key hating, and they're just stuck on being miserable. Like, they've done it for so long and been in that negative mindset for so long, like they don't know anything else. Now it's kind of like, I'm like, no, you actually don't have to live that. Why don't you try this? Well, like, they'll find every excuse in the world why not something is not right. You know what I mean? Instead of doing it and taking a risk and kind of find out for themselves and trying to make that negative situation into a positive one. They're not trying to hear it. So when you had asked me before and you were kind of like, oh, well, did you tell everybody and this and that? I was like, no. like I'm doing this for me. I'm not really doing this for anybody else. It's like when you asked earlier and you were kind of like, oh, can you name some currency? Because we can give all the information we want. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean somebody's gonna go like tonight, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, blah blah blah. We still, even at the end of this, we still might have people that's like, they don't know what they're talking about. We're not gonna do it. Okay, well, fine. I can tell you honestly, and this is why I told Solo how I knew this shit was legit. All my gains, especially because like I say, Solo knows me personally, so he knows what I got going on behind the scenes and stuff, even outside of my model and acting and stuff. I knew I was cool for this year when I have the gains from my damn crypto, but yet I was doing a 9 to 5, and I didn't see any of that fucking money at all. And like I said, I have multiple income streams coming in, and like I said, I'm fairly good with money. I'm not like a wasteful person. I'm just talking about
Can you repeat that?
Oh yeah, no, sure. I was saying that game with crypto and this shit was legit when all my gains that I've made that I'm good for the rest of this year came from crypto and not my 9 to 5. There's nothing from my 9 to 5. That shit went to bills. So if I wouldn't have like invested in this damn crypto, I would have like zip in my bank account right now. That's coming from multiple income streams. What's that?
You saying that you made more than 5?
Wait, hold on. You're breaking up. I did what now?
I'm more in crypto than your 9 to 5.
Easily. So not to say I'm going to do this. I'm not saying that I'm going to do this full time and not work. I'm just saying like it's not like I didn't make money working. I'm just saying as far as after my bills and what the hell was left that I had to play with and shit, it was nothing. So I'm kind of like, that's another thing. The economy has changed, and you've probably heard this on other videos too. There's people that is like they're making money every day not working. They said we have content creators, and even with the YouTube like travesty and them pulling advertising and all that other stuff and monetization and stuff, but they don't work a 9 to 5, and they got money coming in all the time. I think particularly with the Black community, they have everybody fucking bamboozled that like you have to work a 9 to 5, and a lot of that too comes from our parents. They were in a different time, but the economy has changed. There's other things you can do outside the system than go to work every day. But like, again, I think people get caught up. They've been doing it so long. That's all they know. A lot of people I know, especially in the Black community, is like, we don't get that entrepreneurship bug like other communities get, right? They just teach us that like, okay, go to school, get an education, get a good degree, and in that good degree, you'll get a good job. So we always end up working for somebody else instead of like actually looking at our own talent. Like, I'm pretty sure anybody in the chat, just anybody in general, can kind of look at themselves and look at their talents, and they know what they're worth. They're like, I can do X, Y, and Z, but they're all sitting at their damn job right now, miserable. Like, these motherfuckers are making so much money off of me right now. Like, how can they be making this much money off of me? But like, I'm sitting here living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
That shit doesn't add up for me. Never has, never will. I don't know. Like I said, I just try to keep things simple. So you need to start asking yourself after a while, especially if you find yourself living like paycheck to paycheck, even if like, say for instance, you're what they could say or consider good with money, kind of like, yo, like I'm making good money or whatever, but why am I not in a penthouse? Like, why don't I see the the benefits and the rewards from all my hard work? Like, why, if I'm getting paid, let's just say I'm getting paid $20 an hour, but yet the company that I'm working for is getting $1 million contracts every day. These motherfuckers are taking vacations like during a regular work week. They're not working. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So, and then some people are like, well, okay, well, just work a second job. So it's like, okay, I don't like this first job. So your advice for me is to go get another job I'm not gonna like. So I have two places I can go to I don't like or whatever, just so I can have a little bit of extra money. But yeah, turn around and I see somebody making money hand over fist off of what I don't have to work at all. Like, how does that work out?
Right.
I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, man, brother, you are definitely an inspiration to me. Like I said, I don't know if you can hear me. And can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yo,
Can you hear me?
hella bougie. Yeah. Can you hear
Yeah, I hear
me?
you. Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know why you've been and it's what is your thoughts now? I mean, you look to diversify from what it sounds like, not just in crypto, but doing the Forex.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds to me that either you're trying to retire or you're looking to get all these model girls in the penthouse and do it Hugh Hefner style.
Well, it's not Forex. I've done other stuff too. Roth IRA, started doing those. I don't mess with 401ks. I think that's a fucking scam. I know some people, their companies match that, but there's like a lot of fees and extra stuff involved. I can look at my Roth IRA and see that shit in real time and see how that occurs. And I'm kind of like I said, the whole template of working and saving money, because you have to remember the saving rates here in the fucking States are like minute.
Right.
I don't think I've ever met anybody in my entire life that's built their wealth off of saving fucking money.
Right.
At all. Yeah, they'll tell us that and try to like I don't know, sell us that bill of goods every damn day. Just work and save your money and save your money. Well, most of us, and I know a lot of people are in the chat, like, we're young people. We want to go out, we want to live life. What fucking good does it do us if we work every damn day and then the money's just sitting there in the bank and we can't touch it? We might as well be fucking broke because it's the same thing.
Right.
So I just know, me personally, like I said, it's eventually, and like I said, you know a little bit about what just happened in the background because you did a couple of video on it. But it's kind of like there's an old saying, it's kind of like insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So
Word.
I'm like, fuck this. This isn't working. I'm in these shitty environments I don't like, where I'm marginalized and I have all these talents, and the people that I'm working with know I have all these fucking talents and shit, but yet they're making all this fucking money, but yet I come in there working my ass, they just give me a pat on the back. I'm like, no, I need to see this shit monetarily. If you want to fucking do something for me, you need to fucking pay me correctly. And then when you kind of realize, well, they're never going to pay you fucking correctly. And I'm kind of like, fuck this. I'm going to like do my own thing now. I'm about to jailbreak this whole fucking matrix.
Right.
So, and
okay. All right.
I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it ain't my job to take people with me. It ain't my job to convince people. I'm just doing this for me, my family. That's it.
Wait. Please say that again, DarkmanX. Please say that again, Maurice.
I said it ain't my job to take people with me. It ain't my job to convince people. I'm just doing this for me and my family, and that's it.
Thank you. And see, Maurice, silly me that, I wanted to bring everybody along with me. And as soon as I started talking about it, people started calling me a scammer and other things. Every time, what is it that I always tell people about cryptocurrencies, Maurice? If you've listened to my videos.
First of all, you say you're not a financial advisor. Second,
yes,
don't put your life savings in there.
Yes.
Just put a little bit in there and fucking, just play around a little bit and see if you can make something happen.
And then third, do your own research. Do your own research. And people listen. People who get, whatever, you can call me whatever, but at the end of the day, I do my own research. And I'm not here to make research for you. I'm doing this for me. Now, if you want to pay me to do research for you, I will gladly do it. But you ain't paying me. I'm doing my own research. And so I'm doing what I do. And if you don't like it, you can go to the next Hotep channel and listen about how we were kings in Wakanda. And no disrespect to Wakanda. I know, Maurice, that's your thing. But I'm not here to sell you guys a dream, okay? At the end of the day, I'm here to help people get to the next level because that's what I want to do. And you don't got to take my advice. All I'm asking you to do is do your own research. Darkman Jeff, you know what I'm talking about, baby. I ain't calling you out, but I've been told you that. I've been told all of y'all that. Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research.
Speaking of which, Solo, you mind if I plug my consulting business while I'm here?
Hey, brother, you might have to send me some Flexio, but go ahead, bro.
No, I just want to do so. Because Solo just actually reminded me when he said that, though. So actually, yes, I started a consulting business. So it's actually multimedia consulting. What obviously a specialty in game design, because I know that a couple of like chats I've been on, there are some people that are in becoming game designers, So if you don't know anything about game design, you want to get into it, or any type of multimedia software that you're trying to learn, or Photoshop, 3D art, 2D art. I have a site. It's actually, and maybe Solo can put this in the chat later or whatever, but it's actually digital suicide consulting.com. Everybody's like, digital suicide, what is that? So that is actually trying to wipe away all your identity off the net. That's actually what digital suicide stands for. But I have an up and running business. The website's up. I have some really good rates. I do coaching, resume reviews, QA testing for any aspiring game designers. I mean, like I said, I have a master's in the joint. But like I said, that's one of the tools that I'm using to escape the matrix, and eventually piggybacked off that into my own studio, because like I said, I was really close to opening my studio last year, January, but again, I kind of made a detour doing all the modeling and acting and stuff. But I still, I'm still a game designer at heart. So yeah, like I said, if you're interested in game engines, if you want to learn Unity or Unreal, or if you just have no clue and you're like, hey, I want to make this cool game, what would be like the best tools? Where can I start? I mean, that's what I do. Or if you have a team and you're like, hey, I need a professional to kind of like show me where I'm at, definitely hit up my site, check out my rates. Like I say, homework, I help with that. It's been pretty good so far. Like I said, you'll basically coordinate with me. We get a date and time going after you pay, of course, and then basically we'll knock it out at your convenience. So, and that's fun stuff to me. I like talking about art and design and video games and like helping people with their projects and stuff. So digital suicide consulting.com. I'll even put it in the chat for you if it lets me.
I might have to make you a moderator because I don't think you're a moderator on this site. So type in something in the chat. I'll make you a mod, and then you'll be able to
excellent
put that in. Yeah, brothers, listen, we're not here to tell you to invest in cryptocurrencies. Like I said, we're not financial advisors. This is simply these are like Maurice behind the scenes.
Was that
Maurice,
Solo?
you there?
Yeah, you just broke up.
I said, aren't these the type of conversations that you and I have behind the scenes?
Tell them about it.
I said, aren't these the type of conversations that we have behind the scenes?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like, I'm not telling brothers to do anything with cryptos or stocks or Forex. All I'm saying is me and Maurice are having a conversation. And trust me, I'm not an expert. I asked Maurice a lot of questions. Maurice helped me out to set up my own another exchange that I wasn't familiar with. And Maurice walked me through it and helped me buy my first coins on it. I'm not an expert, but you know what? At the end of the day, I never claimed to be. So when people are here like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, damn right, because I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, all I'm saying is people do your own research, recognize that there's more to life than what you see. If you have a dream, if you have a vision, if you really are on the path, on the road to success, you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone, Mr. Phoenix. You're going to have to step out and take a risk. And you know what? Nobody's going to fault you for taking a risk. I'm not saying put in your house or nothing like that in Forex or stocks or cryptos. All I'm saying is do your own research. Be willing to take a chance. That's what I'm doing. And I'm not saying you got to do it, but do your own research. That's the best thing you can ever do for your life. Knowledge is power. And you know what? I know some of you guys are Christian and some of y'all ain't, but in the Bible it says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Let me say that again. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. And you know, I've talked to a lot of brothers about this crypto behind the scenes. You feel me? And a lot of brothers roll their eyes. Oh, it's not doing well. Or look, it's a pyramid scheme. At the end of the day, I'm not here to convince anybody anymore. All I'm here to tell you is do your own research. And if by doing your own research, if you really did your due diligence, you read a lot of articles, you watched a lot of movies. Excuse me, I said movies. You watched a lot of YouTube videos and did your research. You did your reading. You did minimum of 100 hours of research. And after the 100 hours, it's not for you. Cool. I'm not going to fault you for that. But don't come up to me asking me questions when the only research you have done is click on my YouTube video, watch 5 minutes, and made up your mind. That's BS. You know, the people that you see, the Ian Bellinas of the world, the Warren Buffetts of the world, they did their research. They took risks, but they did their research. And if I'm lying, I'm frying, but I'm keeping it 100.
Oh, man.
You got to do your research.
I'm just looking in the chat. I guess let me answer a couple of questions people are asking. So I know CR Frank, he asked if I was like, if I was in the service. Yes, in the Marine Corps, did 12. Phoenix. Matter of fact, if you go like Solo, you're on my IG. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see some pictures of me in the Marines, way, way, way at the bottom of that. But let me see. Zaire Phoenix asked about my 3D projects. My specialty is environment art, so I do have a game design website. It's actually it's Mr. like MR Maurice MAURICE Johnson.net. If you go there, you can see my stuff from when I was working at Sony, stuff that I did in Unreal. Currently, I'm making a 3D action game similar, like I said, if you play like games like Devil May Cry or like, you know, Metal Gear Revengeance. I'm doing that on the side. I'm doing that in Unreal 4. Obviously, I posted some videos, behind the scenes development videos about that project. So my consulting business, Digital Suicide Consulting, there is an IG, there is a Facebook under the same name as well. You can see some stuff on there as well.
Okay, I appreciate
it. But yes, I do 2D and 3D art.
Repeat the website.
Oh, yeah, that's oh man. So it's for my game design, it's MrMauriceJohnson.net. Matter of fact, I'm gonna type them in Solo's chat. And that way Solo can post up. There you go, Solo. So you should see both of them in there. So it has my consulting and my my game design site. And then obviously the IGs are the same for the consulting, digital, as well as the Facebook.
Okay. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate
you. Good.
And anybody got any final questions? Y'all
old picture, man. I was back when I was a Lance Corporal there. Looking like a white meat baby face right there.
You know, hold up. CR Frank asked, have you been to Fort Gordon? I was a Signal IT. I met other Marines there too.
No, I was mostly overseas for the most part.
Can you tell us where overseas?
Japan.
Or is that classified?
No, Japan.
Okay. Oh, so you got some of that Japanese anime.
I love Japan, by the way. Solo knows we have several chats
Live
about
streams.
yeah,
Yep.
several. I said I actually plan on going back, you know, eventually. It's on my rotation of places. Get those passports, people. If you don't have them, I'm trying to tell you, they trying to lock that shit down.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, you guys hit the likes. And you know, like I said, I appreciate anybody. I mean, it's Saturday. I know a lot of you people probably at the club. A lot of people are gonna watch the playback. A lot of people are out and about. You know, the only reason I'm here tonight is because I gotta work. And there's a snowstorm coming, of course. And so Brother Maurice was all hyped up. He's like, yo, I'm ready. I saw some models popping bottles. I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, when you're in the and they're in the back and they're just this naked ass, hot ass women all up in your grill, walking around and stuff, you know. You get that sensu bean energy.
Sense of being energy. This guy, the Dragon Ball Z.
Speaking of which, did you catch that last episode of Super?
Man, I haven't watched Super at all. I got bored. I'm not gonna lie. I got bored with Super. Like, you know.
Let me tell you what, yo, like that probably
no
was
spoilers.
No. That's probably the greatest episode of Dragon Ball ever.
Okay. The last episode you said?
The last episode of Super, yes.
Okay. I might just have to skip.
What is Zaire Phoenix said the website don't work. I'm in my website now. Just put in, did you type it in right? I put it in the chat. Because you might have put it typed it in wrong. But it's in the chat. Put it in the chat again. If it lets me type. By the way, I hate YouTube's new chat thing it does now. I think it's dumb. Oh no, it's .net. It's not a .com. It's .net. That's why it's coming up that way.
What do you mean YouTube's new chat thing?
Well, now it has like a little timer bar on there, so you have to wait for that bar to kind of be like, I don't know, good before you can say something.
Oh yeah, I think that's when you type a lot, man.
Yeah, I haven't typed that much. It's more YouTube trying to tell everybody what to do, man. Like I remember YouTube, and I don't know if you remember this, Solo, but I remember YouTube before Google took it over. Do you remember that?
A little bit. I'm not that old.
I grew up with it, bro. It was like the Wild Wild West. They had straight up porn on YouTube. Straight up. Like, yeah, man, you could find anything on YouTube. Like, it didn't matter what you were posting on there. They had Clayton Bigsby on this mug, man. They had all kind of shit. And then as soon as Google, they did that merger, it was over. They took all that stuff down.
He said there was porn up here.
Yeah, there was, like, straight up porn.
I don't remember that, but I guess I never went on YouTube to look for porn.
No, I'm just saying because I'd have friends, and they'd be like, "Yo, let's look at some big booty bitches." Of course. So no, it was, and the thing was too, like I remember, like when you could like save folders and stuff, you could put everything in alphabetical order and stuff, so you could find your videos like really easy. And then, like I said, once they did that merger, like a lot of stuff didn't carry over, man. They like ruined it. I was like, this place sucks now. And now it's gotten even worse with all the censorship they're doing and just stupid shit. Like I'm wondering when they're gonna start hitting up all the videos for talking for stuff like this. When it's like when you it's a good place to share knowledge.
Well, they're already banning cryptocurrency ad on Google and Facebook, which is crazy.
But not even just the crypto stuff. I just mean just like general information, because there's a lot of information that's getting passed through just YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why we need a Flexio or Steam and decentralized D-tubes, all of that.
Like, you know what? I actually compare YouTube to like, because AM radio, people can say pretty much whatever they want. That's like the true unfiltered kind of like, no narrative being pushed a lot of times.
Right.
The difference from like, FM. I think of YouTube being kind of like the same way. And I'm just wondering when they're gonna kind of like, okay, no more information, because so many people can get connected like through just like these videos and live chats and stuff, and you meet so many people, like, so you learn so much stuff. It's crazy. I appreciate that, Phoenix. I see that comment on there. You let me know if you want to do some consulting, man. Like I said, that's my stuff, man. I like teaching, man. I don't necessarily want to be a teacher, but I like being able to share some knowledge and somebody being able to benefit from that, and then I can kind of see what they take what I gave them and they put their own twist on there. I think that's pretty cool.
Right. All right. Well, DarkmanX, he's got to go make some rice.
I'm done with the rice, man. I'm done with the rice. It's like it's 1 month time. I'm still up. Yeah, man.
He said he's still ready to go. All right, that's what's up. I mean,
dog. I just didn't want to be dog. It was kind of like I wasn't dressed for the club. If I'm gonna go to the club and I'm in VIP, right? Because it wasn't really like I was dressed. I wasn't dressed a peacock, like for the show I was at. Like I said, it was just the bomber jackets. So I just had on like black jeans, black shirt, and I had sneaks, but he had some other sneaks he wanted me to wear, and like that was it. I'm sitting in VIP, and I mean, like look at that shot. Like, look at that shot since you got my IG pull. You see how I'm dressed on this damn film shoot right here? I'm looking like The Rock with the damn heavyweight belt right there.
Oh, wait, hold on. The next picture. That was tonight?
That was actually last night.
Okay. Yeah, look at you, bro. Yo, you in Hollywood on us, bro.
I know, man. I know, man. I'm not big wig yet.
Oh, you in Hollywood. Look at this brother. He got the belt. He got the blue Miami type looking shirt on and the glasses.
Hey, man.
He is Hollywood. Hey, bro, listen, when you get that Hollywood bread, don't forget about Solo TV 84, bro. That's it.
No, man, I make sure you VIP at the premiere, bro.
All right,
you see I'm growing my hair now, though, right? You see I got like a full beard now. I got
man.
Let me tell you what, cats don't recognize me at all.
I like the beard, though. You know what I'm saying? It makes you look more distinguished.
That's what everybody keeps saying. I'm distinguished now. I'm like, all right, I'll take that. Where the MILFs at?
Where the MILFs at?
my boy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do another plug since I'm here. I'm gonna do a couple plugs for people. First of all, check out MMA Never Surrender. You just do a Google search on that, and that'll come up. Like I said, you'll probably see yours truly on there. The guy next to me, that's Troy D. Williams, man. He's doing, man, I'm telling you, if you want to talk about a positive role model, man, he's doing big things. Matter of fact, he just did a movie. It's called The Watchman's Edict. You can go to thewatchmansedict.com. You can check it out. It's on DVD. It just hit Regal Theaters. So, ironically, he's having another red carpet this about a week or so, actually local here. So his movie is out in theaters right now. Matter of fact, I saw them posing by the movie poster. It was like right next to Blockers. So he's another actor. He's also aspiring like to be on the set of Black Panther 2, which I'll be out there for sure since I missed the first one. So keep a lookout for him, man. All of them that's there, man. My boy, you see with the Culture Savage shirt, the blue right there. They have shirts for this movie. That's my boy David Justino Productions. So this is his production, his movie, the story he wants to tell. For MMA is basically he was a young man. He was a fighter. Ended up going to prison, and then he comes out of prison and he's wrestling with all these demons basically. And then he's fighting against the champ, which is my boy Troy on the side. There's a real good story. The guy he has his arm around, Wilfredo. Man, this dude, he's done so many movies. He has an upcoming movie called Unlawful Justice, which I'm actually in that movie as well. And then my girl Cher up front. Cher is such a sweetheart actress, and like just good vibes all around, man. Good vibes, good actors. Just it's a good atmosphere to be in, man. Like even that, like we're just chilling and joking, just kind of like how we're talking now, you know? Like everybody's just cracking on each other, and like it doesn't feel like work at all. That was what, again, outside of doing the investments and stuff, that was something where I was like, dude, why am I coming to a cubicle every day miserable? Like, why am I putting up with this shit? And it's like Solo mentioned, he's like, well, man, you look like a little distinguished now. You know, yeah, I got a little salt and pepper in my beard. I looked at that shit the other day. I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm old now. So, you know, I mean, I got a kid and everything, but it's like it still didn't really hit me until like I saw that, and I was like, damn, I got like gray hairs and shit. So, man, it's just life is short, man. It's kind of like I don't want to like waste my vitality miserable and working for somebody else's dream and shit. It's like I'm a grown ass man. Like real talk.
Facts. You know, and I appreciate you, brother, because you've helped me out a lot. I really mean that. I'm not just saying that because you're on, but you know, we've done live streams together, fam. I remember before you were doing all of this, you know, you are the definition of self-improvement on the road to success. And I commend you for that, brother, because I remember before you were modeling, before you were acting and doing cryptos, and now you are on a different level, you know?
I'm trying, man. I mean, that's all we can do, man. Like I said, it's even with, and I know like a lot of people get frustrated in the matrix and stuff and messing around with the women and the crazy black women, right? But I mean, like the way I look at it, like I said, I'm at a point in my life. It's not my job to kind of convince people about me that I'm like, oh, I'm this good catch, I'm this great guy, blah, 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 blah. If you can't see it, you just can't see it. That's on you. I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do at the end of the day. Like
Right.
I'm confident in my skin. I like what I like. You know, yeah, I might be like out there playing Hollywood, but I still like anime and nerd shit and video games and pro wrestling and and I probably always will. I'm not gonna change who I am to fit kind of a narrative or somebody else's narrative where they're trying to put me in a box or marginalize me, or because sometimes too, especially with like, and nothing against them, I'm talking about like heterosexual black males, they try to put they try to put us in a damn uh like in a box on how they feel or like how they see us.
Right.
It's like, brother, I was the best before I was doing this, and I knew it. Like I said, it ain't my job to try to convince you. If you can't see it, you just can't see it. But like I say, I know my worth. So I like Solo says, like we can have haters, we can have trolls, they can have people that are pissed that I'm sitting here making kissy face with the Cuban bombshell right there. Too, yes, I did get the lip lock to her after that, that caught her off guard. I gotta keep these chicks on their toes because she's like a 10. So she's like she used to getting all that attention. I was like, yeah, but I'm still better than you. So, no, I mean, for real, like, because a lot of people, and yes, I will be watching WrestleMania tomorrow. Actually be watching it on the big screen with some friends of mine, actually game designer friends. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped for it. We'll just watch the Hall of Fame today, actually, before all my shoot and everything. Yeah, there's, like I say, man, there's, even though, like I said, even in the model realm, there's still narratives that are being pushed. Again, you're talking about heterosexual, black male, masculine, right? I don't do skinny jeans. I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing some like androgynous bullshit. I'm just not. That's not who I am. I'm an 80s brat, and it's kind of like I am who I am. And sometimes, you know, you just have to be unapologetically black. Like, and it's unfortunate that we're kind of put in a situation where it's like you can't really be yourself because we're always like trying to make everybody else feel comfortable around us. And I'm at a point now in my life where I'm like, you know, and you know, I've lived like all these years that I've lived on this earth, and I think I've kind of done all right. It's kind of like I said, man, I am who I am. So it ain't my job to try to like, you know, make you like me or assimilate in a place that, you know, fucking hates me and doesn't want me here. So I say I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna bounce. And said the people around me and the good karma that's like going around, like I say, I hope those people like elevate with me, you know.
Amen.
Like,
Amen.
so you know that's where I'm at. I'm honestly, I'm very simple. It's like I'm fucking with the people that are fucking with me. Period. I don't care what color they are. I
Right.
don't care any of that shit. If they're down with me, I'm down with them. Anybody else, I'm not worried about.
Facts. All right. Well, listen, I do got to get up early tomorrow. Um, Hey, there's a question for you, Maurice, in the chat. You may have to take it off camera.
Wait, what is this? What is this? Wait, hold on. There's two questions. Let me answer one question because this ain't gonna take long. Will the Undertaker show up? You know this is a yes. It's weird with the whole John Cena thing. I don't know what the hell they're trying to go with that. It's like he's talking down to the Undertaker, who's been away. He's done everything. It's just weird. And hopefully the American Badass does kind of show up. I don't think Taker is coming in full Taker get up. Still think it should be Kane to retire him. I don't know. I'm I'm hyped for the match, but at the same time, I really kind of wish, even though like I like Brock Lesnar, I think he was the right guy to end the streak. I wish they wouldn't have ended the streak because it would have been such a totally different dynamic if the Undertaker still had his streak and then he had to face John Cena. Like how are they gonna book that? I would have been all, you know, but it's still cool to see Taker.
What streak? Because I don't really follow.
Oh, I know this is a wrestling thing. If you don't watch wrestling, you're not gonna get it. So all the wrestling fans got that. I just want to answer that question. Let me see. How do you stop a message? Is that a massage addiction? Are you talking about like those, like as we say in Japan?
Yeah. He's talking about that.
Like, is this a real question or is this a troll?
I think it's a troll, man. I've never seen It's
Hey,
a troll.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Since I don't know if this is a real question or not, but like I actually do have a story with this, right? And that's funny because we were talking about me in the military earlier. So okay, there was this guy who shall remain nameless. He used to spend his whole paychecks and the juicy houses in Japan, right? So he would go to these bars, and it was kind of like these females, you know, they're tricking. They're out there, you know, paying the dudes attention and stuff and getting the dudes to buy them drinks. And then, you know, like they literally are just draining the funds from the dudes. And literally with this cat, it'd be like one day, like he'd get paid, and like the next day he'd have no money. And we had to do like an intervention. Me and some like other Marines, like real talk. we found out where he was going.
So wait, this guy would what? Trick off at the club or bar or where at?
He wasn't even smashing.
What?
These badass chicks were damn like, yes. It would start with the drinks and they would just be sending him, because you know they're all on him and they're laying on him and they're talking and stuff, but like that's it. And this dude was like pissing away his whole paycheck in like a day.
Damn.
I'm like, dog, you can go to, like I said, you go to a real massage parlor and get like a happy ending and, you know, do what you got to do. But it was just like, he was one of those dudes where it was just kind of like I said, man, he was unchecked. We had to go in for the save, man. And I remember we went in there and we grabbed them out the bar. The chicks were all trying to talk to us. Like, I wasn't having none of it. Yeah, man. That's just funny.
Shit.
That's the story.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. It's a real thing, man. Like, honestly though, real talk though, if you're asking that kind of question, man, like you're worried too much about females, period. You don't have enough things to do with your time. And we all know that we're damn men, and that's just how we're wired, right? Like, we're wired to be attracted to the like opposite sex, and we're wired. That's just the way it is. But that shouldn't be the sole thing that you're talking about 24/7. I would prefer you to actually pay attention to more of the solo sats. Check out some of King Rich's channels because he talks a lot about that. Like, if that's all you're thinking about, yo, you should be doing all types of other stuff, such as fucking thinking about getting into cryptocurrency.
Man, he spent his whole check on thotties just to start in a club.
Keep in mind, dog, these are military checks. So and we're overseas. So it's like, yo, we had all these extra stuff, the tax benefit, all that joint. So it's like in a day. Like you co-signing some juicy girl lifestyle, man.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, man, we had to go in, man, and do an intervention. It's crazy. Yeah, man, maybe on another chat one day, I don't know, I'll tell some military stories. I got some funny stories.
Do another chat, bro. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna have to Patreon that way.
Is the guy good now? Do you know, or what happened to him?
You know what? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I mean, like, we kind of took him under our wing, kind of got him more addicted back to the video games, but he probably still is trickling. I mean, that's a hard habit to break, dog. Might have to call Dr. Drew on that.
But tricking without, like,
yeah, I know.
Your whole paycheck.
I know.
Not even like, I mean, I understand buying a drink. Okay, whatever. You're right. I mean, anybody who's been in the club scene, you may have bought a chick a drink. I have. I'm not going to lie. I have bought chicks drinks. Chicks have bought me drinks. Facts. But a whole paycheck? No.
Paycheck.
No. Never.
Ever. Yeah, man, and you got to think, though, you only get paid twice a month. So it's like when that money's gone, it's like sometimes, like, dog, you got to wait till next month before you. Like, how the hell are you going to, like, I mean, you know how you're going to damn survive. I mean, like, the military pays for everything, but still.
Dude was tricking.
That's crucial, dog. That's straight crucial.
I mean, Robert, man, if you're spending $150 to $200 a month, you can't afford it, bro. I mean, bruh, find a hobby, get a second job. You're not busy enough. Get a second job, bro.
Hold on, like, see now I'm curious. You spend $150, $200 a month, like. I don't know, like you know what I'm thinking too? That's gonna mess you up, dog. Like when you're trying to, like, your whole male to female dynamic, when you really trying to approach a chick so you can kind of like get some free pussy on the regular, like that's gonna mess you up because you're gonna just be so used to like just paying and doing the damn thing, and it's just kind of like, there's no real interaction there. You might have a sex addiction, dog. Real talk.
I know it's real. Tiger Woods.
I know, right? Like I say, man, you might have to talk to Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla about that. Real talk.
I mean, bro, he said he's in California, so he's
I was in Cali, bro. In San Diego.
Shout out to Cali, man. I've been to Cali a lot, man. I know what you did. There's some bad. Look, I know, fam.
But why are you paying if you're in Cali?
Huh?
No, I was asking, why is he paying if he's in Cali?
Oh, maybe he can't bag a bat. I mean, Cali, there's some superficial chicks, bro. There's some
for sure.
You know what I mean?
But instead of spending that money on these bitches, you could invest in a damn new ass wardrobe. Gym, you get a fucking trainer at the gym.
Hey, Robert, I've been to Cali plenty of times, bro. I ain't pay for nothing. Trust me. Only thing I bought the chick was
the troll. I
That's
think
a
he's
fact.
trolling. I don't think. Come on, Robert.
Right, yeah, I think this dude is trolling. Get him the hell out of here, man. Yo, mods, get time this dude out, man. Get him out of here. He a troll, man. Get him out of here.
If you ain't trolling, you need to invest in your damn self. Because that don't make no sense. It's like you're spending that much money, dog. You could have a personal trainer, and in about like a year or two, looking like Dwayne The Rock Johnson and shit. Get the hell out of here.
You know what I mean?
Oh, my e-pass is low. Let me refill that. Refill that from the crypto fund.
All right, well, listen, I do got to get going, man. I got to wake up early for work.
Oh, I got to the gym tomorrow.
All right, man. DarkmanX, man. Shout out to you. I appreciate you hopping on. You know what I'm saying? We got trolled at the end, man. Forget that troll.
Told you, man. I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless.
You know, any final words, man? Play. You got?
Oh yeah, for sure. Check out my consulting business for multimedia consulting, digitalsuicideconsulting.com. If you're interested in game design, you want to look at some of my work, it's mrmauricejohnson.net. It's Mr. like MR, MAURICEJOHNSON.net, not .com. If you want to look at my IG, DarkmanX_129. And then IG and Facebook's for my consulting business is the same, digitalsuicide.consulting. So, yeah, man, other than that, like I said, I hopefully explain crypto a little bit more simple for you guys. Like I said, I don't know everything. I know some things. And hopefully everybody makes gains, man. Like I said, they will be trying to sell off their gains before the end of the year, similar to last year. So like I said, even though we're in this weird transaction right now, I do believe that it might not be a full-blown bull run like last year, but for sure they're going to sell. Like they want their rewards for this year. Now, and then think about it. If you think about the logic, the market's been so low, people have been able to buy this just a damn currency.
Right.
So
there you go. All right, y'all. Well, listen, we out of here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all who tuned in. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, if you want to donate Bitcoin, Litecoin, it's in the description. You know, my super chat's off. Your boy's struggling. So please do that. As well as the GoFundMe. Look at this troll came back on another name. Oh, yo.
He did that fast too.
Oh, yo, he came back.
Yeah, he got the extra
he went back, yo. But anyway, I appreciate all of y'all, man. Even the trolls, man. You feel me?
Tell him to troll Cynthia G's channel for a while.
Hey, we won't mention that name here, but anyway, we out though. You know what I'm saying? Peace, man.
Peace.